Scenarios are very scary. A person with a gun in front of you ready to kill as many people as possible.
And of course, in recent weeks, we've seen how this can happen anytime, and we're all at risk, along with our friends and family.
We've got fire and rescue here, police, the chief medical examiner's office, Virginia Department of Health, Virginia Department of Emergency Management. We have a whole plethora of people from all around the state who've come together to see how regionally we can operate together to handle a disaster.
Why is it so important to be prepared?
Well, in light of recent issues, you might think that this is why we're doing it, but really it started back long before, when Columbine happened. That put these type of incidents on radar. So we every day work to try and make our campus as safe as we possibly can. So when this opportunity came along, when Roanoke City approached us and said, hey, look, we need a location, we've got this, VDEM is partnering with us, are you interested? We jumped all over it. We had to do it. It's that important to the safety of the campus. We prepare every day. Our police officers are here every day. Our students are educated on what they need to do in case of an emergency. But really, until we drill and do a full-scale exercise like this, you don't challenge yourself. You don't know where you're going. But I think we're on a right path, and we're making some good decisions. Law enforcement will be here in full force handling what they do, and they're pretty good at it. They practice it all the time. However, when you start bringing in the Department of Emergency Management, you start bringing in the Health Department, and you're bringing in all these other agencies that don't regularly sit down at a table and work together. We communicate all the time, but as far as working together, it doesn't always happen, and not as often as it probably should. So when you bring those people together and you start to know names, faces, contacts, it just makes, God forbid, a real incident should happen, we start working out together and things go smoothly.
It's good to know they're doing that training,
Oh, it is, because you never know what's going to happen, and all of us need to be as prepared as we can, and we count on those folks to take care of us when things like that happen.
Go down on your knees. Go down on...
for first responders in case of a mass shooting on a college campus. Virginia Western Community College is shut down today, a dry run if a worst-case scenario actually comes true. WDBJ7 anchor Chris Hurst has been out on campus this morning. So, Chris, what's going on right now?
Hi, Kim. What we can show you right now is something that normally we wouldn't be able to, because we are wearing these pink shirts that say media on the back. We're actually able to go into where the staging area for triage would be in the case of a mass casualty and fatality situation on the campus of a college. And so at about 10:15, the exercise started. There were shots being fired. And then all of a sudden we started seeing people come with these shirts on them that say victim. And as we look around here, you can see that there actually are people who are acting as victims if there were to be a shooting on campus. There's about 350 first responders here doing this exercise to make sure that they're ready just in case of what if. And there's about 150 volunteers participating as actors and victims. And they're saying, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management is telling me there's forecasting about 50 potential victims in this case. So this is a mass casualty situation that they're trying to forecast for, trying to do a dry run for. And in the case of Aurora, Colorado, and Wisconsin, and certainly in Southwest Virginia, everybody needs to make sure that they are prepared for situations like this. Now, we got video that we want to show you that we got earlier this morning. This is all of the law enforcement people taking out the magazines that would have any live rounds in them and putting in these white cords to make sure that those guns aren't loaded, but they are still using firearms just in case to make sure that everything is going as it normally would in these worst case scenarios. And two, all of the victims had to get makeup put on to their face to mimic what would the actual wounds would be. So this is such a unique opportunity for everyone, including us in the media, to really see what would happen in one of these worst case scenarios. We're going to be staying out here for the remainder of the day. Now that the active shooter situation is kind of over, they are looking now more towards sweeping the entire campus here at Virginia Western, and we will be bringing you another report when we see you tonight at 5 and 6.
Monday, we previewed an emergency response drill taking place at Virginia Western Community College in Roanoke today.
Federal, state, and local agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, conducted the exercise simulating a terrorism event. The drill's been in the works for over a year and featured gunmen on campus. 10 News USI's Jenna Zipton joins us now live from Virginia Western's campus with more on that. And Jenna, what can you tell us about the drill?
Well, Jay, the drill featured more than 500 people, and we want to stress this was only a drill. In this scenario, police had to look for the gunmen that were loose on campus, all among the victims.
7 I think it's a very realistic scenario so far.
5 gunmen firing shots on the Virginia Western Community College campus.
Today was, really surreal. I was out front of a building when it all started and, was shot in the very beginning and then laid there for about 45 minutes.
Eric Williams played one of the victims.
And that was, pretty intense.
Hay una persona muerta.
That's what Oscar Duenas said to police as they arrived on scene.
I was just reporting dead people and injured people, and since they didn't know what I was saying exactly, they just handcuffed me and put me aside.
Just one of the many surprises planned for police.
We know the reality of that scenario playing out here. We know the reality of that playing out anywhere.
Craig Harris is the police chief at Virginia Western Community College. He says although they train for situations like these, it's crucial to also train with other agencies and police officers, and also test if hospitals are ready.
Most of the Roanoke City officers here, I know them because we work together all the time. When you bring those outside agencies in to join us, that's where that relationship building starts and makes us better for the next incident that takes place.
I think it's necessary, and I think we're never prepared enough for a situation like this one, but it does give you an idea of what it would be like.
Things are much quieter here on campus than they were just about 8 hours ago, but you can still see emergency cars hanging around campus as they are still winding down the drill. Now, emergency management from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management was also on the scene today, kind of conducting an exercise along with them. Coming up at 5:30, now that the drill is over, we will talk to the Virginia Western Police Chief and see how everybody handled the event, and are we ready if this were to actually happen. Reporting live in Roanoke, Jenna Zibton, WSLS 10 on your side.
Your hometown news leader, WDBJ 7. I'm Chris Hurst. Gene Jadhan has the night off. It was only an exercise, but the practice today could help save lives if a worst-case scenario ever hits a Virginia College campus again. Hundreds of volunteers and first responders at Virginia Western Community College in Roanoke acted as if gunmen were carrying out a massacre. The images seem all too real.
SWAT Sheriff's Department is entering the humanity building.
But the blood is fake.
I have one coming down, gunshot wound to the chest.
The gun's not loaded.
Dispatch to command.
The lessons, though, are very real. Letting all first responders play out how a mass shooting could actually unfold.
There's been a lot of fatalities. I believe we had over 50 injured, and we have 20 fatalities.
The mock-up is 5 members of a militant militia group. The story goes they were denied financial aid and started shooting inside the administration building. Noticeably absent are Virginia State Police and many federal agencies. While in real life it would be different, Thursday gave local police a chance to shine.
The stress is knowing that they are the tip of the spear. When the siren goes off and there's a shooter on campus, they know they have to respond to it, they have to address it, and they know that help, while it's coming, is not coming right away.
The shirts are different colors and have different names. The yellow is for victims, and in the Virginia Western parking lot, EMS crews brought the actors in makeup to triage. The community college the target because it's deemed more vulnerable.
We're a soft target. We don't have the same resources that four-year institutions have, so it's incumbent upon us to reach out to the community and collaborate with the police, the fire, and the emergency managers, because we may very well have a situation on our campus one day, and we want to be prepared for that.
Tomorrow is another busy day with this exercise. There will be crime scene investigations and also practice counseling for students and staff after a tragedy.
Your daughter's last name, is it Smith as well?
No, her last name is Germaphobe. It's Germaphobe.
Your first name?
Sparkle.
know, but I'm calling to see, check on you, because I'm not yet. You see what I'm saying? So you turn it on. We'll make it like a movie.
All right, you're recording now.
Carly, are you okay? Oh,
I don't have a name.
Carly, I'll help you. I'll save you.
Your bottom fortress.
They've got me. I don't know how much longer I've got. Help me.